Let's talk New York Mets baseball, man. It might be time to panic just a little bit. It might be time for us to stop saying, oh, it's still early, it's still early, it's still early. Give it more time, give it more time, give it more time. The Mets are not who they're telling us that they are. We're talking about one of the highest payrolls in the league, if not the highest. These guys are getting the most money than anybody else. We wanted somebody to come in who was going to spend money, who was going to, do everything that the team needed to be successful, was going to do whatever they could to get the best guys to be a successful team, to try to get a championship, to try to win a World Series. We're being told that we've got all the talent in the world, but it doesn't seem like it. This really might be the time to start asking some questions. What's going on here? We just got swept for the second time so far this season. There's absolutely no offense. This is probably the seventh time or sixth or seventh time, I can't remember off the top of my head, that we've been shut out. We were only shut out 8 times the entire time last season. We've now dropped to 500. We're 16-16. And we actually look like that type of team. The numbers reflect exactly the type of play that we're seeing. I think these guys might be a little bit too comfortable. I don't know what's going on. Is it Buck? Do we need to ask Buck what's going on? Does the big guy need to have a sit down with him? Do these guys not want to play for Buck? Who knows? We're 20th in the league in ERA, 11th worst team in hits allowed. We're 14th in runs allowed. The only other 2 teams that have given up more home runs are the A's and White Sox. And we're pretty much almost the worst in the league when it comes to walks. So the pitching is not there. We're 21st in batting average, 19th in home runs, 19th in hits. The offense isn't there. This has just been, the numbers reflect exactly what we've been seeing. This is a mediocre team at best. This isn't a championship caliber team. This isn't the type of team that we're being convinced that we have. This is something completely different. I don't know what it is, but something is not working. This is absolutely I can't even talk. I can't believe that we just got swept and then shut out in the last game by the Detroit Tigers. First game, we had 10 hits, 5 runs with 5 strikeouts. Couldn't get enough to finish the job. Lucchesi had to get pulled after 4 innings. They put 4 runs on him. He's sitting at a 3.86 ERA. This is crazy. Second game, we scored 1 run on 5 hits with 31 at-bats. Scherzer was an absolute non-factor. Before the game, if you watch the game, he's bouncing around. He's sitting in the seat. He's rocking back and forth or whatnot. Yeah, that looks good. That looks good, the little show that you're putting on. But it means absolutely nothing if you're going to get out there and pretty much do nothing. Pretty much get embarrassed. He did absolutely nothing. He had 3.1 innings pitched. They hit 6 runs on him. They had 2 home runs. He now has a 5.56 ERA. His velocity was down. His spin rates were actually down. If you follow the channel, I put that out there. His spin rates were down, so there's an argument to be made that maybe he was doing something a little bit fishy. Who knows? After the game, he had every excuse in the world for everything. And, he did absolutely nothing. Game 3, what is there to even say? 3 hits with 11 strikeouts in 28 at-bats. We were getting mauled out there by Detroit pitching. You can't really blame Verlander, After 2 home runs, yeah, he's got the 2 home runs on him or whatnot, but after that, he settled in. 5 innings, 5 hits, 2 home runs. He had 5 strikeouts. His ERA is at 3.60, but he's also just coming back. This is his first outing since his injury. So he's still got to get settled in. He's still got to get warmed up. He's still got to get back in the swing of things. But overall, it wasn't a bad outing for him. Can't blame him. He had absolutely no offense. He had no help. His team did absolutely nothing to help him the entire game. So, he kept us in the game technically. They scored 2 runs. Okay. We're talking about a Tigers team that was 28th in the batting average, 27th in home runs, last in runs scored, last in hits. I mean, this is unbelievable. Pitching, they were the 9th worst team in the league with an ERA of 4.80. Last in the league in strikeouts. I mean, on paper, this seems like a sure thing, I guess you could say. But they were the exact opposite team as all of the statistics and everything said they were. They were the exact opposite. Strikeouts. I mean, they were gunning players down out there. Our guys down out at second. Nimmo, he tried to steal, got him. I don't think he should have did that, but I mean, it is what it is. It's just unbelievable that this happened. We keep saying it's early, but I think somebody needs to have a sit down with Buck, or maybe somebody needs to have I'm sure they're going to have a sit down at some point in time and talk this thing over and see what needs to change, because something has to change. We're not getting the best out of these guys, and they're getting paid too much money to be putting on this type of show. Too much. So I'm not going to sit here and go on and on and on and on and on about it, but I'd like to see him do better, man. It's very disappointing to watch these guys get swept and then shut out in this last game. But learn from it, move on, and hopefully we'll do better next time. We'll see. That's it for now. If you made it this far, I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. If you're a subscriber, if you're just a listener, think about it. Subscribe. Put out a lot of information. Follow the Mets pretty closely. And thanks a lot. Once again, let's go Mets.